CPA firms who embrace automation and AI will thrive, but the rest would really struggle to be relevant to the market.
Hello and welcome back to the RightNow Podcast. My name is Derek Distin, Vice President of Community here at Rightworks. You've heard me say this before. The accounting profession can trace its roots back well over 7,000 years. I mean, we're talking ancient Mesopotamia. We're talking shortly after the introduction of agriculture, when people began to settle down, they discovered there was a need to keep an accounting of whatever the crops were. That became a need to keep accounting of debts. That became what we have today with the accounting profession. Throughout the last 7-8 millennia, there have been many changes to this industry, to this profession. And I would venture to say that the rate of change has evolved more and more rapidly, maybe even in the last 20 years, than at any point in time before this. We at Rightworks are committed to partnering with you to help you see through this evolution. And we can't do this alone. Joining me today as we talk about the evolution of the industry, past, present, and future, is Divakar Vijayasarathy, founder and CEO of DVS Advisory Group. They are a growth partner for firms and for investors thinking about or approaching the next level of their practice. Divakar, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, pleasure, Derek. Thanks for having me around.
So let's set the table real quick. And let's just begin with, tell me a little bit about DVS.
Okay. So DVS started in 2007. The focus was to be an international tax firm where we would help Indian entrepreneurs expand to the world or overseas investors get into India. So we were acting as a bridge. So over time, from tax structuring, we evolved into implementation to management. We did the entire life cycle of what it takes to do business across countries. And we grew by acquiring skill sets. We didn't build, we acquired firms. So we've done about 18 acquisitions across multiple practices. So far, some have failed, many have succeeded. We've understood what the playbook is. And today we are there in a wide variety of practices, from tax, virtual CFO, accounting, real estate broking, wealth management, private equity, secondaries. So you name it. So what we realized is, for this profession to scale, right, the firm mindset needs to take a back seat. It needs to be a platform mindset. And professionals start looking at possibilities rather than services as the only source of sustenance. So this is where, when we started to reimagine the industry, I think just opened up dimensions which we never knew even existed. And that's the journey we are in. We're building a globally scalable professional and business services platform, evolving into a fintech ecosystem. That's what DVS is about.
You said something here that I wrote down. You said the firm mindset needs to take a back seat. I want to unpack that a little bit. Can you break that down a little bit more for me when you say the firm mindset? What is a firm mindset?
So typically, a firm mindset is something where you look at people as your lever and not process. That's the first challenge. Where you sell time and not expertise. And where the promoter is the key lever, being is a key marketable commodity being sold to the market. Now, these are the challenges of being a firm mindset. So imagine a CPA in a firm which is doing $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million revenues, right? He or she is the head of finance, head of HR, head of operations, head of technology, head of automation. CEO, CFO, COO, you roll up all the profiles into one. They won't have a board, so they act as their own counsel. I mean, that's like a zillion profiles on a single pair of shoulders. I mean, that's impossible to manage. This is a firm mindset, right? Where you look at you being the whole and soul of the journey from engagement to execution.
So this is really where DVS comes in. You guys are helping others to transition from that
Yes.
sort of that firm mindset into a more entrepreneurial mindset, or find other ways, other people who can help partner with you.
So what we typically do is we liberate CPA firms. To be very honest, and that's how I felt. There was a phase in 2011. I was like at the peak of my career. I just felt the burnout. We realized, yes, what are we trying to build? Are we here to just serve and make some money, or are we here to build an enterprise? So the moment we decided we need to build something, then I had to take a backseat. And it was the toughest decision because I took a backseat when I was at the prime of my career. Absolute prime of my career. I was the youngest to be represented on a national stage. All those things happened. But I was getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And then when it came back, there were tough decisions. You had to delegate. We lost some clients initially because they wanted to see your face, and then you bring someone else. They pick it up as an issue of disrespect, and all. You had to go through that churn phase. But it was a couple of years of pain. But from there, we realized every function we added after that into the platform, how we were seamlessly able to scale up our venture. So today, the last acquisition which we did, substantial acquisition, we grew that practice 10 times in 2.5 years. Because we clearly knew what was missing. And we just didn't do any rocket science. That the guy was a phenomenal partner who joined us. He was in a system where he had to do 10 different things. We said, like, you just do the one thing you're great at doing.
Mm-hmm.
The other 9 things which you're good at doing, which can also be done by someone else, just forget it. It was absolute liberation moment. You see that nirvana moment, right, in life, where you just want to do what you are born to do. That's what we help CPAs. We don't just buy out a firm. We engage with a partner. We try to understand what he or she actually wants to do in life. We literally liberate CPAs from their practice and help them thrive to become the best version of themselves by giving them leadership, capital, and above all, execution support.
Taking a look at the next 12 to 18 months, what do you see changing in the industry?
CPA firms who embrace automation and AI will thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest would really struggle to be relevant to the market.
I want you to imagine that we have a time machine right here with us, and we're going to step into it. It's going to take us back in time 10 years. And you are going to come out of that face to face with yourself 10 years ago. Now, the time machine is tricky. It's only giving you 60 seconds to stand there. You get to give one piece of advice to your younger self. What advice are you going to give to yourself 10 years ago?
I'm 44 now. When I was 34, I was like a headless chicken, trying to literally try to understand how the hell can I scale the services industry. And I was just coming out of my second bankruptcy in life at that phase. If I were to look back in life and tell that gentleman on what he should have done, focus your energies on understanding human beings rather than trying to understand business, because it's only a symptom and not the cause. So I think that would have been my understand human beings better.
Interesting, because you and I are the same age, and 10 years ago I was also 34.
Okay.
And I would say that what I have learned the most in the last 10 years, I've learned from my wife, and it's very similar. Understand yourself and what drives you, and understand other people and what drives and motivates them. Because I think you said it earlier, getting people to get work done is a serious art.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
And one quote which really stuck with me. So one of the earliest books I read about the US is Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville, a French philosopher. He writes The Art of Association. is the mother of all action.
Mm.
And one of the most important lacuna for accounting and accountants in general is we've not been trained in the art of association. It's not been a collaborative journey to get to where they've become, right? And America is all about the art of association, how multiple stakeholders, such diverse in outlooks, but all united in spirit. The nation found itself the best possible way. That's why they keep saying the American experiment. It's 260, 270 years old, and it's still so successful and thriving. It's primarily, and this is the observation of him, right? This is the only nation, and the French government sent him after the French Revolution to figure out what could be the best possible system to govern and exist. This is the only country in the world where you can see someone could be a carpenter, someone could be an artist, a plumber, and a doctor all in one lifetime and still thrive, right? I mean, this is that nation which has allowed free spirit to thrive and has also cracked the structure for people to collaborate and thrive. I think that's one message with accountants can get that loud and clear. And we keep fear aside for collaboration. I think it'll do wonderfully well for the entire profession as a whole.
Okay, let's step back in the time machine. And now we're going to go to 10 years from today's current date. We're going to go 10 years into our future right now. Same thing. That door is going to open up 60 seconds and you're going to be face to face with yourself 10 years from now. What question, what one piece of advice are you going to ask of yourself 10 years from now?
What is it that I should not be doing?
It's a very simple question, and it's so complex, but it can really sharpen So back to your quote from earlier, and I think that this was an Abraham Lincoln quote or a Washington quote, but give me an hour to chop down a tree and I'll spend 55 minutes sharpening my axe.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to know the secret to success, and I feel like it's all come down to you just have to refine and reiterate on what it is that you want to accomplish. Don't allow yourself to be distracted.
Seriously.
No.
Seriously.
Well, Divakar, I have had a fantastic time speaking with you, and I mean this sincerely, looking forward to getting more opportunities for us to speak in person when we're in Nashville.
I so look forward to it. It was amazing.
Yep. And I'm going to invite everybody who's listening now, come join us. Come sit down. Let's have some great conversations as it relates to either specifically your firm and your business and what you're looking to do and how DVS might be able to help you. Or, as you've heard us talk here, we can go much broader and more general on these things.
Oh, yes. I mean, DVS is an experiment. I keep saying this is my research laboratory, right? It's about trying to figure out how we as professionals can associate better and create value. And our mantra is very simple: aggregate, enable, and unlock. That's what we do.
I'm going to remind everybody you can join us in Nashville from May 19th through the 21st for RightNow 2025. This is the accounting profession's premier mid-year event. We really hope that you come join us. As a reminder, if you've not registered yet, if you go to rightworks.com/RightNow 2025 and you use the offer code POD 300, that's POD 300, you will receive $300 off your registration. There is an ancient Chinese proverb that states the best time to have planted a tree was many years ago. The second best time is right now. I'm going to encourage you to come and look for ways that you can plant your tree right now at RightNow. Talk with DVS, talk with Rightworks. We'd love to help you on this. Keep aggregating, keep enabling, and I promise you will find the way to unlock more success for you and your firms.
Thank you.
Divakar, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure engaging with you.
It was indeed. Thank you.